In 2024, now we start to see new faces, and mainly the couple who are working. Some of them are Canadian. Despite the effort they are putting, they still can't meet their needs. And it's not one sort. We have seen huge numbers now.
And we saw an onslaught of just increased traffic through the shelter as well as our outreach program. But the housing crisis is such a barrier. Landlord discrimination. You have kids, you're going to be discriminated against. And currently in our shelter, we have a 21-day stay shelter, emergency shelter. Our numbers have almost doubled as far as time is concerned. So there's at least 43 days most families are staying now because of the housing crisis.
I work with veterans, and I find that there is not a lot of programming or supports out there for men, and unless they're going to transitional housing, which is great, but not all of them are in that situation of recovery. Some have passed that stage. So unless they have a wife or a partner, then they can easily get into housing more easier than a man can.
We're pretty low barriers, so we can get people rent paid within a day or two, a couple days. Not anymore. That's how it was because of funding. And then so in the first January, February, March, we were getting a lot of calls from, of course, people who didn't budget, don't have the skills to budget. Like Christmas came, they used their money to do Christmas with their kids, and they're like, we'll figure it out later. Later came, the figuring out was calling us. Lots of job loss at the beginning of the year we noticed, and then rent increase.
I've been at Calgary Seniors for about 5 years now, and primarily we used to really focus on like the social isolation, kind of practical pieces. And in the last 2 years, and really the last year, the poverty has increased so much. So it's part of the housing crisis as well. So subsidized seniors housing, we used to get people in 1 or 2 months. It's 2 to 4 years now. They do not have the money to afford medications. They do not have the money to afford food, to afford anything. So our demand for basic needs has increased exponential. We've gone out, we've sought out grants and things to get emergency funding, and it's thousands of dollars a month. We pay medication, food, but obviously it's not something we can do ongoing forever.
I think COVID had a lot to do with like the market hike and all the food and stuff. So now there's just like, we're seeing an increase of food insecurity and things like that. And I mean, I have an amazing job, and, you know, just when you think you're getting ahead, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. So it's us everyday people that are just struggling. And then you think of the vulnerable population, and it's impossible to get ahead.
Poverty is so much more than just financial. Yes, it's mental health. It's your wellness.
Yes,
everything. It impacts everything about you.
And much of what was said was about us as workers, us as doing the work, how we are the new face of poverty. Because let's face it, when we're well cared for, we can care for better, right? Like when I'm struggling my mind is like, how am I going to feed my kid? When I'm one of those parents that isn't eating so my kid can, how am I going to show up for you, for my relatives, like the relatives and the people that I serve, when I'm worried about my own survival?
And while we all have our own specialties, like we're all seeing the same clients. They go from agency to agency. And so I think when we come together, it benefits them, it benefits us to know each other, to know what each other do, and just build that collaboration. Like I know that's something we've worked on a lot at our agency, and we're very open. If anyone ever wants to talk to us or get presentations or work together, like just reach out. And I think as we do more and more of that and have discussions like these, it only makes everyone stronger.